That's a pull, boys.
Welcome back to ulti.TV's coverage of Spring Invite here in Leuven, Belgium. It's round 3 of this open division only tournament. My name is Luke Burgess and I am joined by Francis on the mic. First time doing a game with you, Francis. How are you feeling about this game?
Feeling like this is going to be interesting. I've played Hard2Fisch before. I've seen some games by Smash D, but I think that both teams have a lot of athletic receivers. So I think they're going to get some exciting plays, especially up in the wind.
Yeah, wind picking up a little bit. Conditions for the first 2 games were ideal for playing Ultimate, but that may change throughout the course of this game. Both teams bringing fairly small rosters to this tournament. Smashed with 13 players versus Hard2Fisch's 15. Neither team has played each other before, so good test for both sides.
I don't know what the result from Hard2Fisch's first game was, but it looked like their game with Badskid wrapped up pretty quickly. I would assume that the win went Badskid's way. This is in Pool D. There's only 3 teams, so unlike the other pools where you'll need to finish with most likely 2 wins to finish second, this is a game that's really going to decide who goes through into the quarterfinals. So Badskid game, looks like Badskid mopped up 15-7. So Hard2Fisch has a chance to redeem themselves and punch that ticket into the quarterfinals.
Team's just looking for a new disc after that one landed out of bounds and maybe got a bit scuffed up on the gravel path on the far side of the pitch. So Smash coming in with a couple of GBU20 players. Pretty young squad. They've looked good domestically in the UK the last few seasons. So they reset back. First pass to this O point. Hard2Fisch not really giving them anything downfield so far.
Looks like a junk, a sort of diamond in the backfield, and match defense on the handlers, or kind of fold-up defense where the handler defenders are able to sort of sag into the lane.
And after getting pushed back, Smash D just throw into a defender. Hard2Fisch. Break opportunity. And a good crossfield forehand, nicely towed in. And Hard2Fisch get their first break of the game.
So Hard2Fisch, seems like Hard2Fisch's second team coming here to this tournament. Still maintain a pretty similar style to the team that I've played against. They've got tall receivers, and it looks like they like to play junk in that wind.
Well, it caused Smash some real problems at that point. They didn't complete a single forwards pass. And when they tried to find a gap through that front of that zone, it didn't work out for them. They'll have to do better at this point. Same defensive look from Hard2Fisch. Smash going backwards once again. Let's see some more aggressive moves from behind the disc. A little bit like that, but not able to find a follow-up. So they finally find something around the far side. There's the deep shot. nicely run down. Number 52 with the score. And a good clean hold for Smashed. Get some confidence back in the side.
It's a good adjustment from their O-line. I think that before they realized that if they just made one pass after another backwards and backwards, they weren't going to be able to get out of that defense. But that big swing opened up the field, and the middle wasn't able to recover the space right there. And gives the thrower a lot of space to throw into, also, since the mark isn't set.
So often the key to beating zones is getting that first pass away from the defense and then managing to stay in front, just what they did there. Found some space on the far side. And momentum from that point onwards. So, vert stack versus match defense. Hard2Fisch just working their way through the middle of the field. Very tight downfield defense from Smashed. Zippy forehand into the chest. Nicely reeled in. Forehand to the end zone is just a bit too far, a bit too blady. Schkickner will not be happy with that throw. Had 2 targets to potentially hit, but...
Not a fan of that throw. The wind is kind of picking up, and that same third throw is much harder than it has been earlier today. It's a little bit easier to float that. That's just a blade down the sideline.
Zone from Hard2Fisch once again, forcing Smash back into their own end zone. Wildcard with the disc now. Finds the crossfield blade. And this dump swing tactic working out once again. Let's see if Smash can keep the momentum. Shot to the end zone. Almost. Catches in bounds, but not inside the end zone. Hard2Fisch have recovered on defense. And that forehand just into the ground. Higgins not able to float it out in front.
Neither team really able to make concrete results from their final throw. They're both flubbing a little bit at the end, getting end zone eyes, trying to make a great throw instead of just having a serviceable throw that retains possession.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for Smashed. They worked so hard to get out of their own end zone. Upline pass from Hard2Fisch. There's a deep shot. Fading to the far side. Once again, just too far. Cool, not able to run it down. And so that's 2 blady end zone shots and 2 turnovers.
Both teams struggling in the win so far.
Big shot from Smash to open up possession. It is a turnover. Good block from Schkickner, but I don't think Smash will be too unhappy with that. So they gained a lot of ground and have forced a timeout from Hard2Fisch. So not a terrible result. Still plenty ultimate to be played in this point.
Good pressure from Hard2Fisch. I think I agree with the deep shot the Smash took right there. It puts some pressure on the deep to make sure that they're not just encroaching too much into the space with the other cutters, so that you can actually put that. And in the win, it seems like Smash hasn't struggled too much putting pressure. They're really playing them on their shoulder, on their hip, trying to get Ds in the reset space. Hard2Fisch setting up in their vert stack yet again.
And Smash surrounding it. This is a tactic they've been utilizing throughout the entire existence of their squad history, really, last few years. See how effective it'll be.
I think with the vert stack coming back in style over the past 5 or 6 years, there's a lot more clam defenses that you see. That one pays off.
Hard2Fisch taking a page out of the Smash playbook of just chucking it deep and hoping for the yards. Good dribbling from Halkyard. This is a fantastic way to break zones. Just keeping that disc moving, constantly threatening his zone breaking passes as Smash looking a lot more comfortable on offense now. Just moving the disc comfortably, but that throw is just a little bit behind the receiver. And as the rain starts coming down, those types of catches are going to become tricky. The rim of the disc is going to be much slippier in the wet.
Ah, sunny Belgium. Pays immediate dividends right there, just like you said, Luke.
So great field position for Smashed. Higgins finds Halkyard. For something downfield, doesn't like the break, goes back to Higgins. But Hard2Fisch just not closing in on the reset. Big high grab over the top of the defense. Higgins once again, front of the end zone. A nice, patient offense from Smashed in the red zone. They get another point on the board.
Hard2Fisch player just doesn't get on the mark right there. I think that that's a blown assignment on the D. They really need to put a little bit more pressure on the open side too, but that mark right there just needs to recover much faster.
They looked like they were deliberately playing very passive defense outside the end zone, especially on the handlers, just letting them swing. But as you say, at some point, if you play like that, the thrower is going to have a wide open break side, and if the downfield defense isn't on the same page, it can cause problems. A very easy score. Smashed in the end. Big layup block.
It's a lovely bid right there from Smashed.
So break opportunity Smashed. Not much going on downfield. Big layup grab to save possession.
Smash punched it in for yet another break. Well, the wet conditions aren't ideal at the very least. You know, they're making for some big grabs. Players may be a little bit less hesitant to hit the ground. Again, I think that those inside shots are coming well, the break side shots from Smash are coming from the defense trailing too much on Hard2Fisch.
So Hard2Fisch starting from hopefully the brick mark kind of area. We're trapped on this near sideline now. Find an up line shot. Just about towed in. Big around swing. And another. Hard2Fisch going the full width. Shot to the end zone is a bit too far and run down by the defender. Slightly impatient throw, perhaps.
I think it solves some of the problems that existed on other points where Hard2Fisch wasn't able to get it off the line too easily. You can see they go the width right there, but again, not able to come up with that final pass.
So smashed offense once again. Looking for another break. Move for the nest nicely to start off the possession. Completely tearing apart the initial zone look. Hard2Fisch. It seems like they figured that out now. wildcard almost bobbling the disc, but manages to maintain possession. Good toe in on this near side. Let's see if they can show some of that patient end zone offense once again. Looks like they can. Another break throw, followed by an immediate conversion. Smash looking good.
Luke, what do you think? On future points, should Hard2Fisch go back to that sort of zone clam type look, or should they abandon it for the moment being? Smash looks like they've solved it. Looks like they've put all the pieces together. They know exactly where to throw it, where to position themselves. They broke out pretty simply. Is that a defense that Hard2Fisch can adapt, or is that one that they should put back in their back pocket and save for another day?
I think at this point they should save it, unless they get themselves a really slow turnover on, say, the front corner of the end zone. Then it might be worth throwing it in for a couple passes. But it certainly looks like Smash have figured out how to deal with that. But it's Hard2Fisch that are stuck on the front corner of their own end zone. Managed to find a centering pass.
A lot of pointing and switching going on from Smash. I think that the vert stack lends itself particularly to those easy switches, since you're trying to create those big lanes. And there's a lot of people standing in the center of the field who are not necessarily active.
But Hard2Fisch managing to maintain possession. Have to throw a lot of passes, but they're making it work. And pick call. Halt proceedings briefly. Another stoppage. Some discussion about this potential block. Certainly wasn't obvious from that replay angle, so we'll see what the players decide.
It's like Bastian Günther is saying that Smash player came through his hip and his arm when he was trying to catch the disc.
Let's have another look. Yeah, pretty unclear from this angle, but the players have agreed to an uncontested foul. Still count rising. Bailout crossfield backhand. And Smash bring it down. Holsters the deep shot. Finds a nice gainer down this sideline. Smash continuing to work it down the sideline. Looking for something in field, does find it. Swing to the far side. Immediate shot to the end zone, wasn't quite on. Smash forced to swing around the back for the time being. Player at the back of the stack did call for a hammer. Wasn't thrown, and once again, patient end zone offense does the job for Smashed.
So far, Smashed has gotten this lead not by doing anything particularly fancy. They're really playing just simple match on your hip defense, and you can see that they were able to pin Günther on the far sideline right there on that flick side. Hard2Fisch have called a timeout, or one of the teams has called a timeout. Looks like they're going to talk about what can be done. So far, Smashed really taking advantage of the turns and putting a lot of pressure on the Hard2Fisch offense to swing the disc through their hard marks.
Yeah, Smash have looked very comfortable, especially outside the end zone. They aren't having to face a lot of pressure outside the end zone. Hard2Fisch have been a bit relaxed, especially on the handler defense, and hasn't really worked out for them. Smashed are looking very comfortable, just swinging the dish around the back, waiting for an opportunity to open up, and then all the final passes into the end zone that they've scored recently have just been flat, short throws. So compare that to the overthrown forehand that we saw earlier that went into the ground on this left-hand end zone. And it looks like Smashed have kind of figured out how to play this game.
Smash really a smaller team, but I think that they do have two advantages, which is quickness and their technique. They're a little bit more solid in their fundamentals. They've been pivoting. They've got strong pivots when they're getting out and throwing. I think that Hard2Fisch need to go back to their strength, which is being big. They should, if they're gonna score, I think that what they need to do is maybe throw a little garbage up in there. Throw some high hucks.
Yeah.
See if your tall receivers can't come down with them. Except for the one set play out of the timeout, I don't think that Smash has really shown much zone. That clam defense worked pretty well against Hard2Fisch, but so far they've just been playing match one-on-one, very few switches.
It's tight one-to-one defense that we see once again coming out of the timeout. Hard2Fisch already up to about the halfway mark. Lots of pressure on each of these catches, but Hard2Fisch maintaining possession. Swing to the far side, required a layout, and Hard2Fisch delivered. And have to have another look at what happened here. Looked like Hard2Fisch player caught the disc, was then hit by the Smash player, and that was what caused the drop and an uncontested foul.
Perhaps an overzealous bid on Linder's cut right there.
Hard2Fisch convert, so they've stemmed the bleeding a little bit. A lot of pressure from Smash on that point, and that was about as close to a block as you could ask for.
It's a nice inside right there. So not following my advice to throw up a swilly huck, probably for the best for Hard2Fisch on that point, but I think that they managed it pretty well. One thing I think that they could manage a little bit better is clearing that deep space. Sometimes they have a deep cutter who will start to make his cut, realize that the disc isn't going up, and not cut back under at full tilt. You really, especially when you're a big team, you want to make sure that that deep space is clear for your throwers. You want to make sure that the timing is good for them too.
Pretty lackluster pull will give Smashed excellent field position as they spread out across the field. Undercut from wildcard.
Looks like that junk that we saw before. Sort of a diamond in the backfield.
This time it doesn't look like Smash were really ready for it. The handlers kind of cleared through pretty quickly, left the disc isolated. They figured it out now though. But they've already been pushed back to their own brick mark. Now some quick disc movement. Shot to the end zone. Two defenders underneath it. And neither will come down. Excellent grab from Smashed.
Still, though, I think that that's a victory for the Hard2Fisch defense. They had a floaty pass go up. We have two defenders. Smash comes down with this time. But, again, Hard2Fisch are taller. Just a better read on it from the Smash player right there.
Low pull. Both teams struggling a little bit to get distance on the pulls. And a forehand straight the other way, fading to the far side. And hits the dirt harmlessly.
That one just doesn't turn over the right way. I like the shot, but I think that the execution left something to be desired, especially when his blading away from the receiver right there. Makes it a lot harder for him to catch.
Yeah, didn't give the receiver much to work with. Smash give it right back. That swing pass just too high. And no one on the end of it. So a bit of a lucky break here for Hard2Fisch. See if they can make the most of it. They can. Meister with the score.
Hard2Fisch holds. I don't know really how important possession is going to be in this game. With the wind and, well, the rain's calmed down a little bit. Certainly being conservative will be nice, but I think that playing a regular possession offense is probably not going to be either team's go-to.
No, both teams have been turning over for a bit. And I expect we'll continue to see that throughout the game. Right. It's really been Smash that have looked a bit more comfortable in offense though. I don't know whether that's a case of the players being more skilled or the defense not putting on as much pressure as they need to in order to fluster these Smash D players. So Hard2Fisch sticking to their zone. And Smashed. We're a bit stuck to begin with, but now they've got the disc moving. These give-go moves have been good, but yet to really break through the zone until Hard2Fisch gets involved. Hammer over the top to the far side. Wide open receiver. Nicely done.
It's a lovely pass, but I think that, again, Smash just swinging it from one side to the other, and it's really that movement when the disc swings one opposite way, they're trying to attack the exact opposite side of the field. The defenders are out of position, and it allows Smash to throw a nice soft hammer into the space there.
So we look at Hard2Fisch's give-go technique once again. The key here really is to keep that disc moving. Their other handler, number 11, who was doing the give-go moves earlier, was accelerating out of his passes, but then when he caught the disc again, he was sort of staring and looking downfield for a few seconds, whereas Hard2Fisch just throws the first open pass, and that's really what opened up the defense.
I'd like to see if Hard2Fisch doesn't have a zone that puts a little bit more people around the disc. So far, Smash has been able to get out of it by crashing and then swinging the disc to the opposite side of the field. Maybe if Hard2Fisch throws a slightly tighter mark, a little bit more of an aggressive zone, with lots of people surrounding the disc, they can sort of cool off that movement.
Yeah, the key is really to get tight on that player who's doing the give-goes, not give them the disc back. Then the offense is suddenly stuck for a couple seconds, and that might be all you need to clamp down with the zone. Pretty straight up mark. Just smashed. Storkhan got pretty high there, but find a bailout option. Immediately look deep. Big, tall receiver, as you said, Francis. Just throw to the big guy in the end zone.
I think that that's an excellent shot. I do like the way that they set it up, though, where it wasn't just a flat-footed shot. They really got some movement off of the disc, and then they saw where he was open.
As we see how they set up this little power position. Yeah, thrower caught the disc looking forwards. Uses that field vision to pick out the option, and the disc just needed to be on this side of the receiver, on this near sideline.
Look at the way that Curl just uses his body position right there. He knows that he's got longer arms. He can see the shot coming in. He just maintains and reaches up and grabs that shot.
Nicely done. It's encouraging to see Hard2Fisch firing an offense. I've given the disc up quite easily a few times this game, but the last few points have looked pretty clean. And once again, Smashed breaking open this zone quite early. Not too much difficulty, but going backwards now. Big hammer over the top. Closing in on the end zone. Another hammer to this near side. And that's the other way to break a zone. If you can't go your way through it, hammer your way over the top of it.
That first hammer I thought was a little bit too ambitious, but it turned out that the wing had gotten sucked in, was out of position, gave the receiver too much time to just spot the throw, get underneath it, clap catch it. Let me see 44 from Smash, scan the field, throws the hammer the opposite direction.
Yeah, picked out the receiver in space.
So far, Smash has been playing very tight match defense. I'm sorry, that's the halftime. Right now, we have Hard2Fisch coming out on D. Smashed again with the mini break. They're already up, but they are on offense as well. I think that Smashed, when they get on defense, they're going to have to manage their legs a bit. There's only 13 of them, and so playing that style of tight one-on-one match D is going to be really difficult for what is going to be a fairly long tournament.
Really good movement through the zone. And the hammer fake slips out of the hands. That is the risk. In slippery conditions. The rain is still coming down.
Who hasn't thrown one of those in their life?
Nice find. Once again, throw to the big guy in the end zone.
I like that huck. It's nice and bladey. Goes away from the defender. You know, if you have a Venn diagram between the defender and the offensive player, there's only that sort of space in between that you have to worry about. If it blades to the break side right there, the offensive player has a better read on it. They can see the top of the disc, and they can just corral it very easily.
Yeah, there's a decent bit of horizontal separation to throw to there. So, Hard2Fisch definitely still in this game. Smash had a good little run of breaks earlier, but in the same way that Smash have kind of figured out this Hard2Fisch zone, Hard2Fisch have also figured out how to stick their offensive possessions in. So both teams well and truly settled in to the game at this point. Much better pull. Smash once again, getting that disc moving. Hard2Fisch stick to their zone.
So not too much pressure on these resets. I think that maybe gives too much freedom to the smashed handlers and allows the sort of wings and poppers to roam freely without too much pressure from the front of the zone.
They're forcing Smash back though. Haven't really been any opportunities for big hammers over the top, and especially as the rain gets a bit heavier, those shots become a little harder to pull off. That's a good find through the middle. As Hard2Fisch melt to 1-to-1. Smash closing in on the end zone now. They showed some very patient end zone offense earlier in this game. Let's see if they can do the same here. Nice inside break. And another. And the shot through the middle. They had the open side covered, they had the break side covered, they did not have the straightforward option covered. And Halkyard gets an easy clap catch score. So gets Smash's 9th point on the board.
Good response to the break. Smash come out with a clean hold. Took them quite a few passes to break through that first wall of the zone, but again, those give and goes are really helping them push the disc upfield. Little lefty lift pass right in there.
Yeah, patient play from Smashed gets the job done.
That's all I got.
So they maintain their lead. Another decent pull. Hard2Fisch have pretty good field position. They find that first under to the far side. And Halkyard sticks his hand out, gets the block on the swing pass. A little bit lazy perhaps from Hard2Fisch. Layout, point block attempt, layout, break side attempt. Smash maintain possession. Keep that disc moving outside the end zone. Hammer over the top. So a wide open receiver for the score. And that's a break from Smashed. extend their lead, 10-6.
I think they've managed to set themselves the goal that every other point has to be a hammer.
Well, it's working for them.
Great reset defense. This seems to be their defensive philosophy, is to just put a lot of pressure on the handlers and get a little cheap poke away D right there.
Here's the hammer for the assist. Good focus to get 2 solid hands on that clap catch. Slippery conditions out there. We saw some players slipping over with their cuts earlier in the day. It's only getting worse. And now one-handed catches on this disc are going to be tricky. So good movement down the far side from Hard2Fisch. To get the disc off the sideline. Continue swinging it into the middle. And a run through D. Immediately given back though. There's some lax concentration for both teams. Shot to the end zone. It is reeled in. And despite a brief scare, Hard2Fisch to hold their offense.
I'm going to disagree with you there, Luke. 2 brief scares. First on the D, and then on that really visionary but also kind of scary pass at the end.
Such a tragic throwaway. Wide open receiver, but just lets go of the disc slightly too late and gives it straight back.
Schulenberg having to fight through the contact on his mark right there. His pass.
It was almost blocked in the lane as well. Not sure the cutter was necessarily looking for a disc over the right shoulder, but it's a good throw. Nicely weighted to the back of the end zone. And ultimately the task of the receiver was easy enough. So nice deep pull, fielded in Smash's own end zone. Zone once again from Hard2Fisch.
I guess that Hard2Fisch have just decided that they're outgunned in quickness and they don't want to play one-on-one. So match defense is out of the question. They're really trying to fine-tune this zone.
Big deep shot from Smashed. Finds the open receiver. Immediately pops it back. Smart choice. And some quick little dish passes outside the end zone is all that is required for the score. Nicely done from Smashed. I'm very impressed with just how calm and collected the Smashed offense has been. That immediate dump pass is all too often not taken, as you think, oh, well, I'm right outside the end zone, I should wait for my teammates to run through into the end zone and throw it to them, when so often it's more beneficial to throw backwards and then go in and try and get the score yourself, rather than waiting. And it's not just about letting your teammates get into the end zone. The problem is the defense will also get into the end zone. And if you move the disc yourself, you can get into the end zone potentially before the defense.
Smashed have a good end zone offense. I think they've looked pretty patient, and they have high IQ for those sorts of small ball possessions, where you only have to move the disc 5 meters forward, but sometimes going back is the best way to do that.
Nice. Inside backhand break, but the second pass is not complete. A bit too low. More calm offense from Smashed. It's moving around the back. Finds the up line and the immediate return pass. Nice inside break. And the shot to the end zone was a bit spicy though, despite the huge layout attempt. Can't reel it in. Injury sub will be called for. Smash can't really afford to be taking many players out of their roster at this stage. It's a long weekend, and they only have 13 players.
Looks like I spoke too soon. Smashed the end zone offense, not able to convert on that point.
It's one of the spicier end zone shots they've taken. Even the hammers over the top that they found into the end zone have been to wide open receivers, and that throw is just a bit too much sauce on it. Deep shot from Hard2Fisch. Comfortably collected from Smashed. As they quickly set up their offense. But not much going on downfield. They all got in the stack, but then no one got free. So Smashed having to work it around the back for a while. As they find a shot to the middle. Deep shot was called for, but it's holstered. Quick juking in the handle space by wildcard. Immediately pops it back, and nice flow down that break side to get the score. Smash continue to extend their lead.
Not a great shot from Hard2Fisch. I think that their deep shots that they've had success with, the cutter starts much closer to the disc, and that one the cutter was already 45 meters downfield, and it really would have taken an excellent, perhaps 60-meter throw to throw him open.
Yeah, the receiver was asking a bit much of the thrower, and Smashed will not waste their opportunity. So I wonder at this point if Hard2Fisch are just continuing to play their zone just to practice it for the sake of practicing it, rather than because they think it's a necessarily game-winning strategy. They need to re-find their composure on offense, though. That's a nice deep shot. Set up much closer to the thrower and on the break side to give some lateral separation to throw to. And they easily convert. Again, not rushing to the back of the end zone to try and set up any end zone offense, just being patient and letting the players who are already in the end zone get free.
Just as you said, I think that that set play works quite well. That front of the stack, just sort of fading off toward the break side, and then the thrower is able to blade it between the two encroaching defenders. Hard2Fisch's deep shots, when they've been successful, have looked more like that. I think if they want to find some success in this tournament, they're going to need to continue to put up shots like that. Maybe tighten their zone a little bit too. I guess that's why they're working on it. If this is anything but zone, I would be very shocked.
Yeah, I mean, they've already lost to Badskid, and if they think this game's getting away from them a bit, then they might just use it to get some reps in. It's definitely not over yet. Still plenty of ultimate to be played, but Smashed have looked very comfortable on offense. Lefty scuba to the far side. Yeah, definitely a good opportunity for Hard2Fisch to drill this zone against a quality opponent. Could well pay dividends for them later in the season. Smashed. Continue to work it nice and calmly through the middle. Just moving the disc nice and quickly, not taking any time at all. And the defense never recovered. Textbook zone offense once again from Smashed. They're 2 points away from the win.
Again, if they win this game, it doesn't really matter what the result against Badskid is. They'll advance directly to the quarterfinal. Too easy. Those transition moments and those moments where Smash are able to keep the disc in the center of the field behind that second wall of defenders, where Hard2Fisch has struggled a lot.
You really have to close down on the center of the field, just allowing the thrower to give go out of a pass to someone in the middle is pretty much a death sentence for any zone, unless you've got everyone further downfield on lock. But as is so often the case in zone, you have a numbers advantage around the disc and a numbers disadvantage away from it, and as soon as the offense moves that disc down the field past that first line of defense, it's a real struggle to recover for the defense. So
a zone of their own, similar to the Hard2Fisch one.
Just allowing these swings. Hard2Fisch doing a good job keeping the disc moving. Smashed, switch to match defense. Disc just bobbles out of the hands. That's just what Smash were hoping for. Lots of passes and eventually a mistake. Smash not having many options to throw to. I do find one. And we're advancing up the field until the pick called. See if we can spot the pick. That was off camera. But disc is checked back in. For something in the reset space, finds the little up line. Shot through the middle. I was about to say good quick disc movement, but it only matters if you catch it, and as I mentioned before, slippery conditions. Clap catches are no longer free. This could be soaking wet at this point, and a timeout called. Hard2Fisch just looking to regain some composure. They did well for the first 10 or so passes of their previous possession, but after the switch to one-to-one defense from Smash, they just overthrew one pass, and that was all it took to cause a turnover. I think both teams need to realize at this point that they've got tired legs, tired bodies, small squads late in the game, and the conditions are not helping. So any little drop in focus is enough to cause a clap catch drop, with the rain continuing to pour down.
For Hard2Fisch, I want to see another one of those vert stack plays that they said, where they have the front of the stack going deep, or where they have somebody who's closer to the disc going deep. I think that that's going to help them with their offensive composure later in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree, and I think especially in these conditions, throwing fewer passes is probably better as well. So if you can complete some deep shots, it makes your life a lot easier. Having to dump swing around the back of his zone for 2-3 minutes, it's not conducive to scoring in the same way that it would be in still dry conditions where those passes are pretty free. But let's see what they've conjured up in the timeout. Smash surrounding the stack once again. No one's immediately open downfield, so they opt for these swing passes that Smash are just letting them have, sagging off the handlers a bit. Smash communicating downfield, making sure everyone's covered. But Hard2Fisch working this down the far sideline now. Shot to the end zone.
Transition comes.
A bit low. That was not it. There's not much separation, and the disc was way too low. They were doing well earlier by just throwing the disc to the tall guys in the end zone, but it only works if the disc is high enough for the tallness to win out.
I was a little worried about the smash transition. They transitioned into match towards the end of that point, but they were close enough that nobody was open. So allowed them to close the gap and get that D right there.
So more zone from Hard2Fisch. Working so far. Smash still on their own end zone line. Making some progress now though. Nice little give go through the middle. But the defense is there. Deep shot now. Does find the receiver in space. Once again. Immediate dump pass. Followed by the cut into the end zone. Smashed. Now one away from the win.
It's one of the few names we do have, Willem Gagnère with the point right there. It's a good deep shot also from number 8. Able to throw it over to the sideline where the deep can't cover that side. Little dump, and just a pass straight down the sideline.
Yeah, don't wait for your teammates to get into the end zone. Just pop it back, get into the end zone yourself. Much harder for the defense to deal with.
All right, and Smash can finish it right here. They can save some legs for the future. That's what I would want to do.
Yeah, win on a break. Perhaps even get this field a bit more lined up with the rest of the schedule. We had a delay at the end of the last game. Big layout bid attempt. Does not get the disc. High release backhand. Safe possession for Hard2Fisch as they continue the flow down that far side. And the forehand to the end zone slips through the hands. Bobbled clap catch. As we've been saying, clap catches are not free when the conditions are this wet. And Smash will just send it the other direction. Halkyard underneath it. Completely misread it though. Didn't look like this was going that far when it came out of the hands, but Halkyard was in a good position to read it and just underestimated how far that disc was going to float. Nice high catch. Veteran move to dry the disc after the catch as well.
Does that really serve a purpose at this point? I think that everybody's jerseys are about as wet as the ground.
Yeah, I say dry the disc. It probably didn't have that much of an effect. Have to start doing the NFL tactic of carrying a towel. Shot to the end zone though. Big pressure underneath it, and the disc is batted away. I was a bit worried that that was going to sit up and be caught by Hard2Fisch, but it is a block. And we'll see if Smash opts for the same tactic of just banging it deep immediately. Not necessarily the easiest way to save your legs, but could work for them. Low pass though. It doesn't look like Smash particularly motivated necessarily to score this point. They know that the game's pretty much in the bag and they're just kind of letting it play out, not running as hard as they can.
And they look a lot less sharp. I would say that drop in focus, it happens, allowing this last point from Hard2Fisch to get in, that's one thing, but they really need to close it now. Reduced roster, 13 people. If they want to go anywhere after this round, they're going to need to save their legs as much as possible.
Yeah, they got a tough game against Bad Skid coming up.
It's always hard to measure where you want to do, what you want to do with those games, where you know that you're the underdog. Do you lay everything on the line, or do you sort of hang back, take it easy? For Smash, I would say that for their small numbers, maybe in the first half, keep your foot on the gas. But if you see that there's a big gap between you in the second half, maybe cool it off a little bit and don't waste your legs for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Smash lads will want to give Bad Skid a good game, at least for the first quarter to first half. And you never know, upsets do happen. And Smash have been looking pretty good on offense when they've been firing. Obviously, in that last point, they were taking it a bit easy, but you know, this movement like this is hard to stop for any team. So. Let's see if they can bring out this calm end zone offense that we've seen.
Or throw a hammer.
Well, they've been throwing hammers to wide open receivers. Oh, that's pretty rude. Especially for the game-winning point. Like. But there we are. I don't think the result was in any doubt. From about 12 on the scoreboard, something like that. It looked like
12-7 at one moment.
Yeah. Smash pretty much in control for the entirety of the second half. And they'll be pretty pleased with that result. We'll see how they do in the quarterfinals later on, but for now, confident performance from the GB side.
You can see a little spike on the back of the Hard2Fisch guy. Seems like it's all smiles coming into the Spirit Circle, though.
So, coming up next, we've got Terrible Monkeys from the Czech Republic versus Bora from Germany. Another group stage match. So, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you shortly for the next one.
Stay tuned.
ulti.TV.